post it. So, okay. First of all, I just want to say thank you for allowing me to be on your team call. I count it a privilege when I get to do these. So I actually get more nervous doing sometimes these team calls for people on my team than I do when we do our team calls. I know that sounds weird, but I do. So I'm super excited to do it though. You guys have, you already know, you have such a fantastic leader in Julie. I learned a lot from Julie. So I just am thrilled with where your team is headed. You guys have an amazing upline. And I don't say that every time I get on one of these calls, but you really, really do. Some of my favorite people. I don't know if you're supposed to have favorites, kind of like your children, and you're not supposed to have favorites, but I do have favorites. I can't help it. So some of my favorite people are on this team. So, and in your upline. So I'm just excited for you guys because you are going to big places with this business. I love Julie's little phrase that she's using now, going from, dream chasers to dream catchers. I love that. She sent that to me today. That just says it all. I love that. And that's truly where you have to go. We can all dream big, right? We all have those big dreams, but we've got to get out there and catch those dreams. And so instead of just chasing them. So I'm going to share with you guys tonight, really, I feel like Julie mentioned that there's several of you that you're getting close to gold. Maybe you're halfway to gold, or you're working your way towards gold, and that's your goal. Some of you I know are pretty brand new, and so I want to make sure that I'm covering my bases with both of you. So with whatever wherever you're at in this journey. So I feel like what I want to share with you tonight. Oh, hang on just a second. My screen. Okay, hang on. I'm going to make sure I had the right screen popped up. Okay. What I share with you tonight, I really truly feel like it can be for anyone. These, what I'm going to give you are things that I wish somebody would have told me when I was at your stage of the game. So things that I wish I had known when I was close to gold, or even at the very, very beginning when maybe I wasn't even quite silver yet. And just so you know, my sponsor is Sunday Anderson. Fabulous sponsor. I love, love, love Sunday. But Sunday was fairly new to Plexus when I jumped on board with her. So when I say that I wish somebody had known this is obviously things we both train our teams on now. But it's just, we were both so new to network marketing and obviously very, very new to Plexus. And so we kind of learned as we went. So I pray that what I give you tonight, I really pray that it'll resonate with you and that you can take something away from it and really apply it to your business and know that it's truly meant to help you to grow. So I'm going to give you seven things. Really six, I guess. 6 things that I want you to, take away tonight. So the first thing I want to tell you, and it is my number one tip, it's my number one, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, but it is my thing that I tell anybody that comes to me and says, what do? I want to grow. I want to do this business. I want to be an emerald. I want to drive that Lexus. I want to bring my husband home from the work that he's having to do right now, or whatever it is, whatever your why is. This is the one thing I would tell you right off the bat. And we hear it a lot, but I really want to talk to you about it. And that is to be consistent. So I love the phrase, the saying I'd heard a while back. I actually heard it in church, and it's successful people do consistently what others do occasionally. So if you want to be successful with this business, you have to do the work, the hard stuff consistently, and you are going to find success with it. So let me say that phrase to you one more time. I repeat this to myself a lot. Successful people do consistently what others do occasionally. So you're on this call tonight because evidently you have a dream. You see that you could do something with this business, or otherwise you wouldn't have taken time out of your night to jump on this call. So I believe that everybody on this call tonight has a dream to be successful with Plexus in one way or another. So obviously this can be applied to any area of your life, and you know, I I tell the same phrase to people, my customers who are, well, I took my products, you know, I took it 3 days ago and then I might have missed a couple days. So we talk about consistency. It's so important to be consistent when you're taking your products. It's so important in so many different things in our life. But if you want to find success with Plexus, you're going to have to be consistent. So, you know, I have people on my team that are very hit and miss, and they might go a few weeks of being very consistent, maybe with posting on Facebook, with reaching out to people, with maybe they even throw in a Facebook party in there, and then all of a sudden they may drop off for 2 months and you may not hear anything from them. And then all of a sudden they kind of want to jump back in, but they've tried to figure out why one of their friends went and joined someone else. That's because of inconsistency. And if you're not going to be consistent, the outside world is going to see that, and they are going to assume that you're no longer doing Plexus. So it's so important that you get that down and it be your number one. I don't care if you don't feel like posting on Facebook, if you don't know what to post, find something, let your audience know that you are still doing Plexus. And it doesn't even matter to me. I had somebody the other day who's like, I don't really feel like I get much response from my Facebook posts, but so-and-so at work, I've had 2 or 3 people at work ask me about it. Well, why do you think those 2 or 3 people at work asked about it? Because they saw them posting consistently on Facebook. So yeah, you may not get anybody comment on your Facebook post or message you, but they are seeing that it is still part of your life. So be consistent in the areas that it's very important that you're consistent in. Be consistent in your follow-up. The fortune is in the follow-up, so make sure you're being consistent there. Okay, so that's my first one that I'm going to tell you. If you want to catch the stream, you have to be consistent. My next one is duplicate. So this is something I see happen a lot, and I want you guys to know and to remember that you do not have to reinvent the wheel. You just don't. Are new ideas great? Well, of course they are. I mean, I know your upline, Amy, I know she's doing a lot of the Zoom meetings, and Amy's very big on, she's always finding somebody that's, you know, doing something that's working and duplicating it with her team. And I love that about her. But I also want you to remember that you don't have to veer off so far off the path and do something crazy, because there are people that have gone before us. We have people in our upline that have already done this business, and they do know what they're doing. So really all you need to do is follow in the footsteps of the leaders that have gone before you. Find out what they have done, what they've done that's been successful, what they've done that's been flops. I mean, I've done some doozies of some flops before that I could tell you about. So find out what people are doing that has made them successful, and just duplicate it. If you're super creative and super inventive and you want to come up with new things, I think it's awesome, but just make sure it's working. Make sure it's not just time wasted, because I see that happen a lot. And then it's, you know, time that you could have been spent doing tried and true methods of what works. So make sure you keep that in the back of your mind, that really when it comes down to it, you just need to duplicate the people that have already gone before you. Okay, so my next tip, or my next little tidbit I would give you, is the word believe. So this goes for several things. I want you to remember to, first of all, believe in yourself. And I actually think this is the biggest one when it comes to belief. I see it happen over and over again, where people will get to a certain rank. They will work so hard, and they might get to a certain rank, and you can almost sense that they themselves have put the brakes on and put a stop to it. But yet they want to say, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. A lot of it is because they haven't believed in themselves. They haven't believed that they maybe deserve the next rank. They haven't believed that they can hit the next rank. I actually see it happen a lot at Senior Ruby. Somebody will hit Senior Ruby, and then it's all of a sudden kind of like the brakes go on, and they don't know what to do from there. but a lot of it's just because maybe they don't believe they actually can be an emerald with this company. So I want you to work on belief in yourself and finding that belief in yourself, because every one of you can do this. I'm telling you, if I can do this business, not really having any network marketing experience, I don't have a college degree. You know, I was telling my youngest daughter tonight at dinner, we were talking about what she wanted to be when she gets older. And I just told her, I said, you know, all I ever wanted to be when I grew up was a mom. Like, that's all I ever come up with. I can remember being a little girl and just thinking, I don't know, I just want to be a mom. So that's all I ever wanted to be. So I just want you, though, to know that you can do this. It really just takes a matter of being consistent and believing in yourself that you can do it. And then I want you to make sure you have belief in the industry of network marketing. So for those of you that are new or fairly new, that's what we do. We are network marketers. I didn't even know what that meant when I got into it. I was like, I don't know. I sell plexus. I am a network marketer. That's what I am. And that's what you are too. So learn the industry. That's going to help you build belief in it. Who knew that there were a gazillion books out there on the network, on the industry of network marketing? I had no idea. So got into it. Of course, everybody told me to read GoPro, and everybody told me to read Rock Your Network Marketing Businesses. Those are not Plexus ambassadors. Those are just professional network marketers that tell you how to do this business, okay? So there's lots of them out there that can tell you. There's lots of them that you can follow on Facebook, and that you can read their blogs that give you tips and tricks and hints on how just to do this business in general. So once you get into it, you realize, oh my goodness, this is a way of life for gobs and gobs of people. This is how a lot of families that make their living and have made their living for years and years and made a really good living doing it. So you need to build your belief in the industry of network marketing. And then lastly, make sure that I just want to say this. If you do not have belief in our products and in our company, you aren't going to go any further. It just won't happen. So in my opinion, I don't even need to harp on this for too long, because I think you have such a great leader in Julie that can teach you so much about the products. Whereas some of my other teams, I am not like the product queen by any mean. And I'm just like, I obviously know a lot more than when I first started, but it's still just not necessarily my thing. When I do meetings, I'm like, I'll do anything but products. I need somebody a little bit more scientific minded to do the products, please. So I can talk about them one-on-one with people all day long, but here's the thing. If I was talking to you one-on-one, I can tell you what they've done for me. I can tell you how they've changed me. I can tell you how they were a tool to help me lose the weight that I lost. And I can tell you what they've done for my family. So that's my belief in the products. And you will never walk away from me thinking that I don't believe in the products. People that are around me, they know I believe in these products, because I do wholeheartedly. And also, you're going to know that I believe in this company. So some of that's going to take a little time, but as you grow in this business, you are going to see what an amazing company we are with. You're going to see the high integrity of the executives that run this company. And just over the last few weeks, how finally really a lot of kinks from our back office change are really starting to work out. I mean, people are getting their products in like 3 days. Thank you, Jesus. It's amazing. But Plexus came out and said they were going to do it. And look, they delivered. They did it. And they're going above and beyond. I'm talking like I had a new customer order, and I got a text from her before I could even send her directions on how to send her products, because she's like, I already got my order. I'm like, you did? Hang on. So, it's amazing. And this company, they just blow me away with how good they treat us, with the level of integrity that they lead with. So, if there's any doubt in those areas, if you do not have full belief in them, then you're going to struggle to grow. So you're just going to really struggle to grow to your fullest potential anyway. So make sure you're working on those areas of belief. I think they're really important. Okay, so my next tip I would give you is the word challenge. So what I would tell you about this is I have never been a big competitor with, well, don't get me wrong, I'm extremely competitive, but I've never been a big competitor with other people, but I'm a huge competitor with myself. So every month I want to make sure I beat last month's points. And every month I want to make sure I beat last month's PV. And so I'm very competitive with myself. And I think I think it can be very healthy and be very good. So I want to challenge you, though, to make sure that you are stepping outside of your comfort zone. That's such a big one for us, isn't it? I mean, it's a hard one for us. So when you step out of your comfort zone, I don't want you to forget this. When you do, I promise you that is where the magic happens. Nothing significant, nothing super special happens when we stay in our little comfort zone, right? It's when we step out and we do the hard things. You know, it's when I tell you, hey, I want you to send 10 messages, 10 cold, you want to know what a cold call is? Well, 10 cold messages to people. Oh, for some of you, you're like, your heart just stopped. You're like, no, please don't ask me to do that. I'm telling you, if that's a challenge for you, go do it. It will get easier and easier and easier to do. I just sent one right before I got on this call to a girl that my husband works with her husband. And so I just friended her on Facebook a few days ago and sent her that message. I mean, what's she going to say? She can either say no, or she can say maybe, or she can totally ignore me. That happens a lot. We'll talk about that in a minute. Or she can say, hey, I might be interested. I mean, well, so what if she tells me no? I mean, who cares? That's okay. I always like the phrase, go for the no, because that just means you're one step closer to a yes. You've got to get so many no's before you get a yes. So challenge yourself to step out of your comfort zone. You have an amazing upline that challenges you to do these things. I know you do. I know what team you're on, and they are constantly giving you tools and tips to grow. But a lot of it's a matter of you taking what they're telling you to do and doing it. And what that really boils down to is that you got to step outside your comfort zone. The magic happens though when you do it. So one of my most I don't know how to word it. One of the best things that ever came out of stepping out of my comfort zone was when I stepped out and I messaged a girl by the name of Ashley Potter. Well, Ashley Potter's on our team. She's senior Ruby, working towards Emerald, and she was one of those cold messages. I had known Ashley, but she had moved off, and I sent her a message, and I thought, you know how you have those people and you're wringing your hands and you're like, I don't know, because I don't know what they're going to say to me. And are they going to think I'm stupid? And are they going to think, oh my gosh, I can't believe she messaged me asking me this. Like I would want to do plexus. You guys know, I know those messages go through your head. They go through mine too still. So I just did it one night. I just thought, you know what? I'm going to send Ashley that message. And I sit down. I'll tell you a tip I learned about these cold messages is, and when I'm saying a cold message, either through Facebook Messenger or a text or whatever, do it right before you go to bed. So get the nerve up, get the message ready, and then I want you to go through and send it and copy and paste it and send it to the next person, maybe personalize it a little bit, and then copy and paste it and send it to the next person, and then go to bed so that you're not up thinking, oh my goodness, it's been 20 minutes. Oh, they read the message. You guys know on Facebook, you can go see when they've read the message and you're going, oh, they've read it and they haven't responded. They probably are just like cringing because, they don't know how to tell me no, or do they just ignore me? I know I can't be the only one thinking these thoughts either. So go to bed. Just go to bed, go to sleep, pray over it, and then you can check your messages in the morning. All right? So I love that little tip, and I do it a lot, actually. I'll send people a cold message and just go to bed, and I'm just going to – it gets easier, though. I will tell you, it's not near as scary for me now. I'm like, what's the worst they can do? Tell me no. Who cares? But in the beginning, those cold messages were scary. But Ashley is one of the people I sent a cold message to. So she said, she came back, she goes, I might actually be interested. I was like, she's interested. Never would have thought that one. So Ashley signed up. I actually signed her up under my mom. And the only time I've ever done that, there's a little tip for you. You want to grow your business wide as you can, but if it's your mama, then you might consider actually putting people under her. If you love your mom, which who doesn't love their mom? So yeah, you might want to put people under your mom. She did raise me and spent a lot of money raising me, so that's the least I could do. So a lot of good things come from those cold messages, and I will tell you, probably for out of every 10 or 12 I send, I might get one potential. So a lot of times people are thinking, well, I sent 5 messages and nobody responded. Well, send 5 more. I know you know more than 5 people. And, you know, a lot of times it's not your best friend. Everybody wants to send the message to their very best friend first thing. And then they get upset and they think, well, I don't have anybody else. Oh, come on, you do too. You have people you went to elementary school with. You have people you went to middle school with. You have people you cheered with or did band with in high school. You have people that you went to college with. You have people that you used to sit in a cubicle with at work. You know people. And so a lot of times it's not your closest friends that are going to join you, but it's going to be those acquaintances through life. And they're going to be the people that are going to join you. And it's actually really fun when that happens. You get reacquainted with people and those friendships grow again. And so it's really exciting when that does happen. But that's what I'm telling you. You don't count anyone out. You don't prejudge anyone. And I do mean no one, because even if that person is you think that person is the shyest person I've ever met in my entire life, they may be, and they may not be your rock star, but they may have a cousin who is, that they may tell about Plexus and sign up and end up being your emerald. So, I mean, I promise you that one happens. It happens. So don't count anyone out. Don't prejudge anyone. All right. I like to tell people, I'm like, don't even prejudge, people think, well, that woman's, she's retired. She's a grandma. She's not going to want this business. She may not, but her granddaughter may. So don't count anyone out. Okay. Okay. I went off track there. I got down a little rabbit trail. Sorry about that. But we're going to go back. We were talking about challenging you. So like I said, that's when the magic happens. And then the other way I want to talk to you about challenge is to challenge your teams. So when you're talking to your team, some of you've just got a few people under you. So sit down with them and ask them, what are your biggest dreams? Like, what are they? What are your biggest dreams right now? And then I want you to find that way to connect this opportunity that we have with Plexus to their biggest dreams, because it can be done. You can connect this. And right now their biggest dream may not be like, I want to quit my job and my husband quit his job and travel the world. It may just simply be that, hey, it may be my story. I just want my husband to quit working 70 hours a week. Like, I just want to see my husband. Well, if someone, and like I said, Sunday was very new in the beginning, but if someone would have said, Jana, this is how this happens. Like, look at how this happens. It would have actually done wonders for me in the very beginning. It would have helped me a lot if someone had connected that dream I had to this opportunity. So learn how to do that and connect that with them. And because I'm telling you, I'm here to tell you, I'm proof to tell you that those dreams that you have and that your team has can be achieved through this amazing opportunity that we have. Okay. All right. So the next one I want to tell you is my one that I usually get the most response from, because this is something people experience right off the bat. And it's the word detach. Okay. So write down the word detach. I want you to keep it in front of you. I want you to maybe tape it on your mirror. I want you to just keep that word in the back of your mind. Put it on your computer for when you get those no messages. This is, I know I keep saying this is a big one. I wish I'd known this one. This is probably the biggest one I wish I had known. The biggest one. If you're anything like me, and if you can't tell already, I'm a very touchy-feely kind of person, emotional kind of person. I don't know if that's a positive or a negative. It depends on my emotions for the day, I guess. I'm not a, total all over the place kind of person, but, I'm very expressive. And so when people tell me no, or when people quit, In the beginning, I could sit and just spend a long time being very upset over that, being very down over it. And I can remember calling Sunday one time. I can so remember when I don't know why I remember this number, but I got my 11th white line. So for those of you that don't know what a white line is, in your back office, when you go and you go to your detailed genealogy, you can see your whole team. All right. So green means that they're new this month, unless they upgraded, then they're still blue, still a little kink in the system there. Blue means that they are active, but they didn't sign up this month, but they're still active. White means they've gone inactive. Boo. So we don't like white lines. They're sad. They make you cry. So, but I'm here to tell you they are a part of the business. So don't forget that. And I say it with a smile on my face because it is just how this business goes. It's just what it is. People get into this, but people join you and they do not have the level of belief that you have yet. That's why it's so important that you help instill that belief in them that we talked about, and you help teach them why we are so passionate about these products. But I'm telling you, people will always come and go. Always. I've had a lot of level 1 white lines come back to me and start back up. And then I'm thinking of one in particular. She signed up, quit, got back in just for products, quit, got back in and worked the business, signed up like 6 or 7 people and quit. So I'm trying to figure out with her, I don't know, maybe I'm doing something wrong or I don't know what's going on. Yes, Julie was a white line. She was probably one of the ones I cried over. I don't know. Thanks, Julie. No, I'm just teasing. I can remember though, when the very beginning, I would count my white lines, and I can remember getting line number 11. And I just called up Sunday and I said, this isn't going to work. I said, how do I keep growing this business when people keep quitting? And she didn't have a real great answer for me. She's like, just keep going. It's going to be okay. Just keep on going. I was like, okay, I guess that's what I'll do. I don't know what else to do. Well, sure enough, obviously it worked out in the end, or in the process. We're not at the end, obviously, but along the way it worked out. I still hate white lines, but what I have found is if I get on the emotional roller coaster of the people who quit or the people who tell me no, then I have just wasted so much time on that stupid emotional roller coaster that I could have been spending my time with the people who want this business, the people who, my potentials that could have joined me. But no, I'm over here on this emotional roller coaster. Get off the emotional roller coaster. Totally detach from it. Because if you don't, you are only hurting yourself, and you are putting up a major roadblock to you growing and growing at a faster pace. So this emotional roller coaster it's just network marketing in general. It's not just Plexus. You ask anybody in any network marketing company, people come and people go. People will join you and they will leave you and they'll go join another company. It just happens. It's part of it. You find your go-getters and you run with them. And it's okay if you only have 2 of them. I posted a thing the other day. Most people don't realize it, but you only need 2 strong legs to get you to Emerald. And that's it. If you have 2 runners, then you give yourself a pat on the back and you go run with them, because it doesn't take 20. All right. If you have 20, that's awesome. I mean, like, that's amazing if you do. But there was a thread going around. There was a thread on the Diamond page today. Our upline, she's like 3 up from me, Beth Anderson. She signed up directly under Celeste. For those of you, I'm sure a lot of you know who Celeste is. Beth Anderson is signed up directly under Celeste. And then it's Alicia McKee, then Sunday, and then me. Beth put out the question out there today. These are just diamonds. This was just on the Diamond page. How many jewel legs do you have? So if those of you that are new, if you don't know what a leg means, okay, so I have my sister Amber. You guys are all on her leg, every one of you. She's my level 1, and then it flows from there. I have another level 1 that is Stephanie, and so her whole team is a leg. I have another level 1 that's Linda, and that's a leg. Okay, so the common number was 2. They had 2 jewel legs. It doesn't mean they don't have other strong legs. They might have some others sitting at ruby or senior ruby, but 2. So don't get tied up in, if, you know, a lot of people think they've signed up people and they're like, so-and-so doesn't want to work it, or so-and-so doesn't want to commit. That's okay. You just look for those 2. All right. And look for more, obviously, along the way, but don't get tied up in the fact that all 20 people that are that you've signed up 20 people and they don't all want to work the business. So just anyway, I want you to remember this about the word detach. People are fickle. People are fickle. Think about yourself. When you go to the grocery store, a lot of times we buy the same exact products, but if you're like me, you're standing in the aisle and you're thinking, well, look at that new product. That looks interesting. And you buy it. Because we're all a little fickle, and we all just, sometimes we jump around and we try different things. That's how people are. So they come and they go. Customers come and go. Ambassadors will come and go. But if you stay the course, if you put your blinders on and you keep moving forward, regardless of what everyone else around you is doing, that's when you'll find success. Mark my word, that's when you'll find success. All right, last thing I want to give you, and this team already knows this, but if you're not praying over your business, and if you are not just daily giving this business over to the Lord, then you're missing out on a huge component and a huge blessing of how you do this business. So, talking about detaching, sometimes things happen. Sometimes, you get an ugly message for somebody. We all get them, just so you know. You're not the only one that gets them. We all get them. Sometimes I just have to sit back and say, Lord, just give me the words to say. Please just speak through me. And I always go back. When I first started, I knew the Lord had directed me to this business. I knew this is what he wanted me to do. So I can always go back to that peace that I had when I started this business. And I go back and I say, Lord, you brought me here. You gave me peace that this is what I was supposed to do. You brought my business this far. And so this little measly situation I'm dealing with, where I've got somebody upset and frustrated and yelling at me, I need you to help me handle this. And I need you to give me the words to say. So just give it over to God. Pray for your team. I pray for you guys a lot. Pray for your customers. Pray that your customers will find success. I mean, that's why we're doing this, right? We want to see people's lives changed. I want to see people's lives changed in so many ways, but I want to see their health changed. And I always tell people that a lot of times the financial struggle that people has is almost as painful, if not painful sometimes, as a physical disease that someone has. So when I can help someone financially, because I've been there and I know what it's like to struggle as a family. I know what it's like to have your husband be like, we cannot buy groceries until the next payday. And you're standing there going, okay, well then I wonder what we're going to eat for dinner. I know what that's like. So when I can help a family get past that, wow, what a blessing that is. I mean, that's pretty cool. And then the last thing, pray for our company, pray for our leaders, pray for the days ahead and the things that are coming ahead, and that the right products will come along, that the right decisions for our company will be made. So that would be my last tip. And I just, I want to challenge you guys to take that away. I know I didn't give you, sometimes people are like, wish I'd give you something like, okay, I want you to do this many Zoom calls a week, and I want you to reach out to 20 new people this week. We give you guys all that. I feel like you already get that. You get it. You get the hands-on tools that you need. So now you need to take those and pair it up with what I gave you tonight, and you're going to find success if you do that. So I hope that helped a little bit.
Oh my goodness, that was awesome. Like, I'm over here writing like feverishly and trying to soak it all in. That was so fantastic. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
What wisdom. I mean, I love it. I know you guys loved it as well. It's so much that is so true. There's so many things that stood out to me. But I love that word detach. Like, I've heard, I've heard that concept, we've talked about on other Zoom calls and leadership things, but I love that you put a word to it. I think that's great. Because that to me is what can, I think at this, at any stage of the game, whether you're new or whether you've been in it a while, I think not being able to detach is one of those things that will derail you quicker than anything. Even if it's just for a couple of days, like it can literally put you into this, like, I just can't even look at Facebook. I can't even pick up my phone,
It will. And when you can put it, because I can remember being like, well, just blow it off. But I remember that word now. I mean, that's why I love that word, to actually have that in the back of my mind. Remember, I need to detach from this. This person that's upset over not losing 20 pounds in 1 month, we all have those.
Yeah.
They're not mad at me. I can't take it all. Don't take it all personal, guys. Do not take it personal. You own a business. So when people are coming to you, they're coming to you as a business owner. They're not coming to you as Abby, their friend who they've known since junior high. They're coming to you as a business owner, and they're looking for your guidance and looking for your help. So when you can detach those two, and you still have to address it as though you're their friend, let them know that you care and you love them, but you really do. You have to detach from that roller coaster, or else it will drive you crazy and it'll make you want to quit. I promise.
Yeah, I agree. I think we've all been there, and I think it's important for everybody. Like I said, no matter what phase you are, what stage of the game you're in, I think it's super important moving forward. All right, guys, let's, if y'all have any questions, you can type them in the chat, or just feel free to unmute yourself and you can ask a question, because I'm sure y'all probably have them. And it doesn't have to be just related to what she talked about. If you do have some specifics, maybe something you're wondering, hey, Jana, how did you do this? Or, what tip would you have about this? Feel free to ask. So we'll make a little pause. All right. I know y'all got questions.
Anything.
I'll go ahead.
All right, go.
You talked about things that, like, not reinventing the wheel. What is something specific, if you can pinpoint it, that you have done that maybe we haven't heard, as far as something successful that you have done that you've seen in your business over and over and over again?
Okay. Yeah, for sure. So I'll just let me just tell you back up to when I first got started. I will tell you the number one tool that you heard over and over and over again is post on Facebook, post on Facebook, post on Facebook. And since then, I've had to gone to some of people on my team over the last several months to talk to them about things that they're doing, because there has been so much come along that we did not do in the beginning because nobody did them. In the beginning, I'm telling you, all we did was post on Facebook, and we would host some opportunity meetings, but we prided ourselves on not having meetings. I still pride myself on that because I have a family, and I mean, you guys can probably tell my family is the most important. Plexus is not going to come before my family. So, I don't want a business that I have to be gone 2 or 3 nights a week. But we did do opportunity meetings. We did a few. And then we would do, we would do trainings once in a while. Well, my particular team, we ended up growing so many different parts of the country. And so, eventually Zoom came around, and we started doing Zoom calls. Really, though, the thing I would tell you to not try to reinvent the wheel on is that you do not, I've seen people think, I'm going to try to grow my business around doing meetings. And so that's not how Plexus got started, and it's not what the most successful people in our company do. You will see them do meetings occasionally, and I do meetings occasionally, but I do not do tons of them. And here's why. I think that they can be a great idea. I think that you can get potentials there. There's nothing that beats face-to-face, even though, I mean, like, look at us right now. I feel like I'm face-to-face with you guys for the most part, right? So I see all your faces. But it's not duplicatable. There's a reason you guys didn't go sign up to sell Mary Kay. You didn't. One reason, maybe makeup's not your thing, but, and I'm not bashing Mary Kay. I love Mary Kay. Don't get me wrong. I shouldn't have called out a company. Now I feel bad, but I don't want to sign up with something that I have to go do meetings after meetings with, that I have to be gone from my house 3 nights a week to make any money with. Does that make sense? So that was one thing that was very attractive to me about Plexus. So the one main thing I would tell you is to use social media and use it wisely. And it's just for the same reason we talked about. You may not get a ton of interest right off the bat. You may not ever have anybody like your post or comment on your post or even private message you. But you are telling you're friends with the people that you're around all the time, right? You're friends with your people that you go to church with. You're friends with the people you work with. You're friends with the people at your kiddo's school. So when you can put it out there in social media what you're doing, they know because of your post that you believe in these products and you believe in this company. Then the next time you're on a field trip with your kiddos, then one of the moms is going to go, okay, I need to know more about Plexus. I see you posting about it. I promise you, if you use social media wisely, those conversations will happen. If you don't use social media wisely, they will never happen. If you post once a week, the chances are, if anybody's seeing them, is very, very small. So that would be my main thing I would tell you, is to use social media, use it wisely to where that Plexus then just becomes a part of your life. And so when you're out and about and when you're at church, people just naturally want to talk to you about it because they know it is a part of your life. Then, there's so many things that have evolved since we've started. I mean, nobody did Facebook parties. I love Facebook parties. Do Facebook parties. Get your newbies started with a Facebook party right off the bat. I love just now the newest thing is everybody's doing the YouTube events. YouTube, I love doing them because there is no limit to how many people you can have on them. So you can do a big YouTube event and you basically make it an opportunity meeting. And so I'm doing one, you guys, if you guys want to hop on it, everybody's welcome because there's no limit. I'm doing one with Kayla Sandlin on Thursday night. And she'll get on. We'll try to keep it at 30 minutes. She'll present the products. We'll present the business. We'll have a couple testimonies. They're really, really powerful. I think they're important that you're doing those. Those are, that's the main things, is that you guys got to remember this is all about relationships and relationship marketing. So one of the best ways to keep relationships going nowadays is social media. So you want to make sure you're using social media and using it wisely. Amber and I did a call. You can find it on our team page all about social media. We did it back a while ago. And how to use it wisely, because that's going to be the key. You do not want to get on there puke pink and then have everybody dropping you like flies as friends. You don't want to do that. So make sure, that would be my main thing, is just, I still 100% believe in social media, maybe a little bit more for different reasons now than I even did back then, but it is vital. If people don't know that you're doing this business, they will never ask you about it when you're together with them face to face and in a setting somewhere.
Jana, it's funny you're talking about that. So I've tried to really up my Snapchat presence since probably January, because I was on there, but I really more was a stalker than I really was a poster. I would do it every now and then. But here's a funny thing. So I had someone message me, one of our former students, and he's hardly ever on Facebook, but he's on Snapchat all the time. He messaged me on Snapchat because his boss's wife wants Plexus, and he said, I figured, I see that you're posting about it, so we figured you'd be great for her to get it from. So anyway, can she contact you? I was like, yes, here's my number. Give me her number and I'll contact her. So it's like the craziest thing. Here's this lady's ready to buy, and it was Snapchat.
Well, that's what my girls, my teenage girls are like, Mom, we've got to get you on more social media. They're so funny. They're like, we can get you more business. You've got to get on more social media. I'm like, okay. It's just one more thing.
Instagram and Snapchat, it's a lot of presence there.
Yeah.
All right. We had 2 questions in the chat too. I wasn't sure if you saw those. And then I think Michelle also, are you still here, Michelle? Did you have a question, Michelle?
Hey, can
Hey,
you hear
there
me?
she is. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, you were talking about like when you meet older people that may not be interested in doing the business with their daughter or their whatever. So I've come across that several times. It's just how would you suggest first contacting them?
Okay.
And like exactly what kind of, how do you open that door?
Okay, so yes, and I've done this many times, and it goes back just like what Julie was just talking about. When you can get on, it's interesting to get in with different ages, different age groups, and I just wanted to say a little bit too before I answer that, Julie, like talking about Instagram and Snapchat, you're going to attract a younger audience, and I'm telling you, some of those younger people, like even college kids, but a lot of times really, really young moms, they are going to run with this business. So use social media wisely. Don't be like me that hasn't got on Snapchat yet. I'm working on it though. I got to get my daughters to help me. It's so awful. Okay. Okay, so you're talking about maybe an older person who knows somebody. Okay. So in essence, you're kind of sending a cold message to them, but you want to make it very, very personal. Okay. So you want to say, hey, Becky, your grandma Sue and I go to church together. I love your grandma. She is so sweet. I just adore her. She mentioned to me that you might be interested in a product I represent, Plexus, and I would love just to talk to you more about it. And I would love just to tell you more about it. So make it personal, and then just let her know. Don't be pushy. The worst thing you can ever do, I promise you. I just signed up a new ambassador today, and she signed up with me because she said, I know 2 other people that sell Plexus. She goes, but they are so pushy and they are getting on my nerves, and I'm going to sign up with you. I was like, okay. So hopefully, I don't know how those other people are going to take that very well, but don't ever be pushy on those cold messages. Don't be pushy with anyone that you're signing up or in any potential. Just let them know that you're there and that you want to answer questions. Always end a message like that with a question. There's a little tip for you. Whenever you're sending a cold message, always end it with a question. So always end it. Maybe you never want to make your messages long. Somebody said, and this would go right along with somebody's question, as an example of a cold call text. You never want them to be long. You want the first sentence or 2 to be personal, just like we talked about. And like my message to Ashley was, hey girl, I love keeping up with your little boy on Facebook. He is so adorable. That was my first message. And then I said, have you ever thought about giving Plexus a try? I would really, really love to tell you more about it. Would this be something you would be interested in? And see how I ended it with a question. When you end something with a question, their automatic response is going to be one that they need to respond to you. They're going to feel the need to respond to you one way or another. Okay, and that's what you want. You want the conversation to get going. So keep it short and sweet. But in a situation like this, somehow make it personal. The girl I signed up with today, I've never met her, but our husbands work together. And so I said, hey, Aubrey, Steve was telling me that you and Ryan, or that Ryan and him were talking at work the other night, and that you're interested in Plexus. And, I didn't really have a whole lot. My first message to her was a voice message. So hopefully you guys use that. I know Julie does. When I do a lot through Facebook, and when you can use the voice messenger, I tell everybody passion has a voice. I mean that quite literally. Passion has a voice. And so unless you are extremely monotone person, and and you may be, and that's okay. You can still grow a business. But if you can show a little passion in your voice and actually use the voice messenger. And I said, hey, Aubrey, this is Jana Hooten. My husband, Steve, told me he was talking with Ryan last night and that you were interested in Plexus. And I would absolutely love to tell you more. And then this is the way I made it personal. I said, I'm helping my girls right now get ready for a missions trip, but I would love to chat sometime. And I know it wasn't personal about her, but it was letting her in on my life a little bit, to where she may be, when you can let someone in on your life a little bit and what's going in on your life, they're just going to feel more comfortable talking to you. You do not want these messages to sound all business. That you just don't want to do that. No matter who it is, if it's someone you've met or you haven't met, It's all about relationships and building those relationships. So you have to add in those personal touches and get something personal in there. But the worst thing you can do too is send them a book. Don't send them a long book telling them what every ingredient in the triplex is and what they do and how they have helped all 47 of your customers. You don't want to do that. That would be a big mistake. So hopefully that helps, Michelle. But reach out to them and let them know your link between them and their grandma or whoever it is, and make it personal, and then just open the door and end it with a question.
And Elizabeth, I know she answered your question in that too. And on our and this is for everybody, so I just thought of it, so thought I'd say it. On my team page, the Plexus Fit for Life team page, there is a in the files, there is an example of several different messages from whether they contacted you first or your cold message out to them, that kind of thing, that you are free to take and tweak however you want, just examples. But that way you kind of feel like you aren't just trying to, create it out of nothing. It gives you a little something until you get your footing. So
yeah, once you see a few of them, you're like, oh, I can do this. It's no different than you messaging someone asking them to go to the mall with you Friday night. It's the same. Think along those lines of how you would message a friend and be like, hey, you want to meet up for dinner? Think along those lines. I actually posted a thing yesterday on the Slim Sisters page, a girl who went Fast Start Gold. For those of you that doesn't know what that means she went gold within her first 30 days of signing up. We have not had anyone, and so if you haven't done this, don't feel bad. There's not been one person on the Slim Sisters team ever do it. So I say that in a challenging way. If anybody wants to do it, go for it. But I also want you to don't get discouraged if you haven't done it. It's totally okay. But this girl, she's on another team. She went Fast Start Gold, and she shared just screenshots of her text messages to people. A lot of them you'll see they're pretty much the same wording. She just personalized them a little bit. But you can take something like that. You'll see they're not long. They've got that personal touch. And when you read them, you would want to respond to it. So, yeah.
The other thing that you talked about, the voice messages on Facebook, I'll also say that you can do that if some of you aren't like big Facebook messengers, but maybe, or maybe you're still reaching out to your warm market, meaning like your family, friends, the people that you have in your phone. If you have an iPhone, you can do that as well. Mm-hmm. It's a similar feature, but I will also say this is for some of you, because I know where some of you are in the process, that you've been sending out messages and messages and messages, and you're like, nobody is responding. And I get that, because it is. I mean, I've had people, honestly, I have people that I started messaging in October, and they have yet to respond to me. They still get a message from me about once a month, they haven't said go away crazy lady yet. So
I've had people though that I've been messaging for 2 years that came around after 2 years and were like, maybe I do want to try this. Or It's funny, anytime you hit a big rank with Plexus, anytime you just wait. If it gets posted on Facebook, you'll all of a sudden you'll get a message or two. And I mean, the day after I went diamond, my inbox was full of people that was like either wanting to start back up or ready to start. So don't give up. Those people are going to come around.
Yeah. And that,
go ahead. I'm sorry, Julie.
I know you're fine. I was going to say that voice message, what you're saying, that has been great lately for me. And I just kind of made the connection with it. Like for people that haven't responded in a while, maybe they've been in that follow-up loop where I've been following up every month or whatever. If they've been like, you see that they're reading it, but they haven't responded in a while, make your next message to them be a voice message. There is something about that people feel more compelled that they need to respond, because it's your voice. It's like before they're just saying no to the words, the text on the screen. But when you have put your voice in there, they feel like they're ignoring you personally a little more. And so they're less likely to. I cannot tell you, I had so many that have completely ignored me. And this last time I said, you know what? You're getting a voice message. And they have replied. It might have been, okay, thanks. It might have been a thumbs up, but they replied. They did something. So I would really encourage you to, because I know some of you have messaged me about that. And so since you were talking about it, I wanted to
yeah, and I'm telling you, when you can get brave enough and send that voice message, it gets easier and easier to do it. And they, just like Julie said, they're so much more powerful. And then use them when you communicate with your team. A lot of times I use them for several reasons. It's faster for me to do it than having to sit down and type it all out. But I want my team to hear, so much can be lost through text. So it's important that they actually hear your voice. And someone asked, what is Fast Start Gold? And I think you just got your kit today. That's awesome. Okay, so your first big rank with Plexus is silver. That means you've signed 3 people. And then after that, it all goes off a point system, which Julie or someone I'm sure can explain to you. But it goes off a point system. When you get 100 points with Plexus, you are gold. Yay! And it doesn't matter how long it takes you to do it. Obviously, the sooner the better. But if someone does it in their first 30 days with Plexus, they are considered Fast Start Gold. So they did it within their first 30 days. They're Fast Start Gold. Your bonus is double. So it's kind of exciting for that to happen. But, it's okay if it doesn't either. So don't, once in a while somebody signs up and they're like, I'm going to do it. And it can be done. It's just going to take some major go-getter attitude for someone to get it done.
And Jana, that's not a calendar month. That is your first 30 days,
yes,
correct?
If you sign up on the 20th of May, then you have 30 days. Counts. Okay. I think it starts, like I said, never had anybody on my team do it. I think it starts the day you sign up. I'm positive on that. It starts on that day. You start the countdown on that day. Yeah.
All right, thanks. And then I think we had another question. I'm looking over here. Rachel, I guess it depends on how awkward it is, but we can try to answer it.
I'm scared.
I know, I'm a little scared, Rachel. Should we be scared?
Can you hear me?
We can.
Okay. I own a local business and shop, and in town where I live, and I also am in real estate. I have come across the past 2 days, one person each day, because I bought a big stand-up banner and I have it in my shop now. So I have a lot of people coming in asking questions. But I've had 2 people the past 2 days have said, oh yeah, I've tried that. I did it for about a month and it just didn't work for me. And I'm like, well, what did it not do for you? And the people said, oh, well, we were only drinking. Both of them said they were only drinking the slim drink. And then the person I talked to today said he was doing the slim drink and the accelerator. And I'm like, that's it? Like, I didn't mean to come across blunt, but I was like, they didn't have you doing the ProBio, the Bio Cleanse, and neither one of them. They're like, no, I think they just wanted the sale. And I'm thinking, oh, great. Like, how am I supposed to talk to them now? Like, I don't want them to think the same thing about me. So how would you approach something like that when they're a customer? I own a sports barber shop. So it's like, they're a customer that comes in like twice a month.
Well, you know what? I've had that happen where somebody said, I tried it before and it didn't really work. Well, there's so many things that go through my head when I hear that. First of all, you kind of wonder if it's on their end. Were they really taking it consistently? What were their goals? Okay, what exactly were you trying to achieve? So I try to ask that and try to figure out exactly what are your goals with Plexus? Like, what is it you're wanting to do? And then, I've ran across people before that just felt like, well, the person I bought it from, I just felt like they were just trying to make a sale or trying to make the money. So,
well, the guy that I talked to today, he's also a business owner in town. And he was like, I was like, man, you gotta, I joked with him. I'm a jokester. And I'm like, you gotta give me a try. Just give me 30 days. Let me get you on the slim, the bio, and the bio cleanse. And, 30 days, money back guarantee, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm not a liar. I've known you forever. And he said, well, it just made me feel like I couldn't stop. Like I was go, go, go. And he's the one that was taking the slim and the accelerator.
Oh, okay.
And I looked at him, and I know him personally. And I said, why in the world were you taking the accelerator? Like, you already have a fast metabolism, and like, why? Like, I didn't understand. So,
well, here's what I will tell you. Okay, here's what I'll tell you, just so you guys can understand a little bit. When I first got started, that was the most popular combo. Everybody, slim accelerator. And fortunately, you guys be thankful. When I first got started, we were a weight loss company I mean, that is really what we were. We are now, we kind of turned the ship around. A lot of it was a lot of the Diamond ambassadors that did this back in the day, really turned the ship around to where we were a overall health company. We were not, and weight loss is a side effect. We are not a weight loss company. Thank the Lord that we're not. So he may have been from back in the day when honestly that was the most popular combination. So I don't want to bash another ambassador if that's what they sold him, because I mean, I'm not going to lie, that's what I started off on. I didn't know anything about ProBio and BioCleanse until I was in it for a little while. So that may be that it depends on the time period. And if you found out the time period, I could kind of tell you, oh, well, yeah, that was when everybody was selling Slim and Accelerator.
Yeah, it was like what you said, probably like 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, then that's why. I tell you who had a huge impact in turning that around was Lori Harrison. Lori Harrison really came in and taught us all what ProBio and BioCleanse do for us. And she taught us all about gut health and why it was important, and really turned things around for us. And thank goodness she didn't, because I just don't feel like we would be anywhere near where we are today if we had just stayed focusing on weight loss. So the thing you have to remember is when you're talking to people, you just want to keep it personal. You want people to walk away from you either signing up as your customer or an ambassador, and then walking away feeling like they just got the best customer service experience ever, and they're going to continue to receive that. A couple tips on that. When someone does finally sign up with you, they've signed up with you because they know that you care. So most of the time, they may not think that out loud, but they should have that feeling that you care. And then I want to give you a tip, though, on this, something that I have learned. When you sign up a new customer, please don't follow up with them every week. Notice I said please don't follow up with them every week. You want to follow up with them, but if you go following up with a brand new customer every single week, you are automatically in their head setting some super high expectations. They're sitting there going, okay, she is checking in with me every single week. Am I supposed to be seeing changes every single week? Like, am I supposed to be dropping 5 pounds what am I supposed to tell her this week? Like, it's still the same as last week. So be careful in your timing. Sometimes in the very beginning, we get overzealous and we get excited. We're like, oh, how's it going? How's it going? Tell me more. Or maybe sometimes we just don't even want to know. Maybe sometimes we're scared to know, so we don't reach out to them at all. So find that healthy balance of giving them the best customer service experience they can get. But, when you go and I'm trying to think, you sign up for, you buy a new makeup or whatever, they're not calling you every week. Are you still liking your foundation? How's your foundation going on? Is your skin feeling good? They're just not doing that for you. So make sure you're finding the healthy balance on that. But the main thing is, before they sign up with you, is just to let them know, hey, if you sign up with me, here's what I can promise you. I will be there to answer any question you have. I'll be there to help you work out any kinks you have. And I just tell them right off the bat, we'll probably have some. And we're probably going to have to really work on finding the right dosage, finding the right products, and finding that right routine. But that's where I come into play, and I'm going to help you find it. And I tell my customers and new ambassadors that it's not usually a matter of if Plexus will work for them. It's a matter of finding the right combination, products, and regimen for them. So I tell them, if you'll stick with me and give me that time, then I'll help you find it. But you have to communicate with me. So you have to be in communication with me. So that's how I would approach it with them, and just let them know that, first of all, I just got to back up and just say, if I know someone's bought from someone else, I do not steal people. I think that's horrible ethics. So, and it will come back to bite you. So don't steal people. So first thing I say is, okay, well, is the person you bought it from still selling Plexus? If it was back 3 or 4 years ago, they're probably not from that time period. They may be, though. And they'll usually say one or two things. No, they're not, or I don't know. And I'll just tell them off the bat, listen, I don't want to take business from someone else and you originally bought from them. So, if you want to go back to them, that would make me feel better. A lot of times they'll say, no, I don't I don't even know that person. I don't know who they were when I bought from them. So-and-so just recommended them. And if they're pretty adamant and saying, no, I want to buy from you, then that's one thing. But be careful you don't want to steal from other ambassadors. It will come back to bite you. But then you're just going to move on and you're going to say, hey, will you give it a try with me again? I promise to give you great customer service. I promise to help you find the right products. I promise to help you find the right regimen, and let's go from there. So that's how I would handle that. You're going to run across people who say it didn't work. I mean, Julie apparently started and quit and came back. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? You're going to come across people that's going to say, I tried it in the past, and it may just be that they weren't on the right products that they needed for their body.
And a lot of times it's, for me, it's not that the products weren't working. It was a season of life that I was in. And I thought that was the best choice for me. I mean, obviously that ended up being terribly wrong choice because I ended up back in a full ulcerative colitis flare-up, so not good. But even it's really hard, especially like when, it is a business and you're wanting to really do well. It's hard to have the patience through that. But, I'm so glad that Stacy did. She still kept me connected. She didn't beat me over the head with Plexus, but, she kept me connected on those team pages, and she would tag me every now and then. Oh, if you're interested, or is there anything I can help with? I knew. And so I had no doubt that when I decided, okay, this is it, like I'm ready to do this, I had no doubt that Stacy was right there to answer those questions for me. And so, I looked at that and I said, that's who I want to be. I know that there are people that are white line right now. Does it drive me insane? Yes, it does. But I don't know what season of life they're in. And, if they're supposed to come back around, they will. And I certainly want to make sure that I've left the welcome mat out and the door open and the light on for them.
Always. I mean, and you just, like we keep talking about over and over, we're dealing with people, we're dealing with different personalities, and you're dealing with people who have things going on in their lives. And so just like Julie said, sometimes people quit, and we may not even know the real reason. I had a girl quit on me one time who told me it wasn't working. She came back and she said, Jana, it was really just a really hard time in my life. I was going through this and this and this. And I can remember looking back when she told me it wasn't working and being really hurt. Then again, I wasn't doing the whole detached thing. And I was really hurt thinking, oh man, I wasn't able to help her enough or whatever, but it really wasn't that. A lot of times people quit for financial situations, and they don't want to tell you that as well. It's embarrassing to them. So just remember that too. When people do quit, a lot of times we don't always know the real reason behind it. And a lot of times they will come back. So anyway.
Yep, I agree 100%. Does anybody else have any questions? I know it's 9:46, so I know Jana. If y'all don't know, Jana's had a huge day. She just sent 2 of her babies to Guatemala. Is that right? Belize. Oh yeah, there was. Somebody else has. I have another one in my feed that was Guatemala. So sorry. To Belize. It's on their first. It's both of their first mission trip. Is that right?
It's their first foreign mission.
International.
Yes, international mission trip. Yep.
Yeah.
So I've heard from them. They're there. They're good.
Oh, good. Yeah. Well, that's awesome. So, she's, being so gracious to be here and take this time with us. And I know that is, listen, I know getting yourself ready for one is a lot, but getting your kids ready for one, I've done that too.
My biggest issue was getting their suitcases under 50 pounds. I mean, we're talking teenage girls.
I know. Look, I'm not a teenage girl, and every time we go, like try to get. So when we went to Togo, Africa for 2 weeks, it was like.
Well, and they have they're there for 7 nights. Of course, they had to bring all bedding and towels. I mean, they had to bring everything.
That's a lot.
And there's no laundry facilities, so it's hot and like 100% humidity. So they're going to want to change clothes several times a day. So like trying to figure this all out was just. At midnight last night, we're weighing suitcases. Yeah. Well, they're very limited on their water supply too.
I know. Let me tell you, you get creative. Well, I'm excited to hear about how that goes. So I appreciate you taking time. I'm telling you, it's been fantastic. Does anybody else have any questions? I'll give you one more chance to step out of your comfort zone and ask. Anyone? Bueller? Well, guys, I appreciate y'all all taking your time out tonight. I know y'all heard me stress like 1,000 times how great this call would be. And Jana, you did not disappoint. I appreciate you. I just taking the time. I had no doubt that you would have amazing things to say that really encourage us. And just honestly, I feel like that we are, and I think I said this on something I posted earlier today, I just feel like we're ready to catapult into summer. And I know across the board, I've heard a lot of things people, and it's kind of been slow, a little sluggish, but I think everybody's a little bit limping to the finish line across for school, and, everything's kind of coming to the end, and everybody just feels a little weary and weighted down. And so, but I think that if we'll continually keep reaching out and doing all these things that she's saying, when everybody gets to a point where they can take a breath, they're going to take a breath and they're going to use that effort to say, okay, now I need to do this for me. I really think that that's what we're on the cusp of. So, because, so many people, even if they're not teachers themselves, but they have kids that are in school, those are the people that are wanting that sustained energy, wanting that health that we have to offer. And so don't get discouraged. Just keep doing it. And I'm saying this, I'm preaching to myself as much as I am to everybody else, because I have goals that I wanted to happen yesterday. I know how that is.
Well,
so
just keep being consistent, because if you think, well, it's not happening, so I'm just going to sit back for the next couple of weeks and wait till business picks back up, then you've wasted a lot of time. And plant the seed now. Plant it now. It'll come back. It will come back to you. So make sure that don't. This is not the time to quit. And I've done this now for several years. The end of the school year is tough for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it's a slower time. So it will pick back up. I promise you it will.
Yeah. And I tell y'all hear me say this phrase all the time: dig, plant, water, dig, plant, water, dig, plant, water. A harvest will come. You may not be in control. You cannot make that seed come up out of the ground, but it will happen if you dig, plant, water, and, just stay with it. And I'm so proud of each one of y'all. Like I can get all choked up about it, because I'm just looking at this call and looking at so many of you, and I see how far you've come and how passionate you are. And some of you are just starting. I see the potential in you, and I'm so excited about where you're going. And you showing up on this call tonight, those of you that showed up and prioritized this, that speaks volumes to where you're positioning yourself to be a dream catcher and not just a dream chaser, because dream catchers prioritize things like this. And so, I'm just excited for all of you. And if there's anything you have questions about, we have this recorded. So, Jana, you can give me that link and we'll get that posted. I encourage you to listen again, take notes if you didn't get to the first time around. And then if you have other questions that come up, please let me know. And if I don't have an answer, Jana's fantastic to field all my crazy calls. So I'll ask her and we'll get it all squared away. But thank you so much. Abby, would you mind praying us out? Do you mind me asking you to do that?
I don't mind at all.
All right. Awesome. Go ahead.
Let's pray. Father, I just thank you for this time that we can come together, even though it may not be in person, Father, but it's face to face. And so I just thank you for each person that's been on this call tonight. I thank you for Julie and her leadership and the way that she just cares about each person on our team, Father. You can see her passion, not only for these products, but for the people that she's serving. So I just thank you for the example that she set, and for Jana taking the time and setting this time and the energy apart to come and just talk to us, minister to us, and serve us in this way, Father. I just appreciate both of them so much. As we go our separate ways, regardless of where we are, whether it's South Carolina or different states, different areas, Father, I just pray that as we are sowing these seeds to help people, I just pray that you grow and bless our businesses, and that it's not just about the next promotion or the next big bonus or whatever, Father. I just pray that it's about people and about seeing people come to know you, but also come to know you in a way of health and seeing the ways that you can provide So Father, just be with us, protect us, and let us see you in the big, but also in the really small ways. In your son's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, Abby. Jana, I can't thank you enough. Thank you for everything and all you
You're welcome.
continually do to lead us. And I cannot wait to hug your neck at convention.
I'm so
I can't wait to
excited.
meet people like I get to love on that. Like y'all gonna be like, oh my gosh, we didn't realize she was such a hugger. You probably should have known that.
I'm a hugger too, so it'll all be good.
So I'm excited. And
I'm
next
excited.
year, everybody on this call is gonna be there with me. So that's what I'm believing. All right. Or even, is it Leaders Retreat that's in the
Yes.
fall?
Leaders retreats in the
Got
fall,
that
and they will
too.
announce the location of it at convention. So
Oh,
it's fun. It is fun.
Y'all's news feeds are going to be blowing up with when I'm at convention. Just get ready. All right. Thanks so much. Everybody have a great night. You have any questions, you can send them my way. Okay.
All right.
Bye,
Night,
guys.
guys.
Bye.